morning with some adorable birds. They're just so precious. They're not afraid. When I walked up to them, they didn't all fly away. I wanted to buy this book just so that I could show everybody what an amazing book this is. I am not going to say the author name. Sorry about that, my battery ran out, so I had to go get another cell phone. So I just thought I would walk you through the main sections of the book and try to do it as fast as possible. I know people get bored with long videos. Just the main takeaway for why I think you should go out and buy this book. The first reason is there is a tutorial section in here written by Terry Shea. It's very brief, but when I read my first Norwegian mitten pattern, I wasn't getting it. I didn't understand it. I was overwhelmed. I knit one plain solid color mitten before, and I sort of understood the thumb gusset and the thumb, and increases and decreases in ribbing and all of that. But with these mittens, there was a lot more going on, and nobody at that time had a video up on how to do it. You'd have to sign up for a class. At that time, I couldn't afford classes. I was putting my son through college, so the book was all I had. And I live in California. Nobody knits spiral knitting in California. So. But I grew up in Michigan, and my grandmother did this all the time, which is why I kind of have this in my DNA. This first section talks about the three different styles of cuffs that were traditionally done in these mittens. And they talk about the thumb gusset, the shaping on the top of the mitten, and really the most valuable part of all were photographs showing what it looks like when you do that the thumb gusset and the thumb. That was the most, tricky part for me when I was just looking at the pattern. I had no visual. It's sort of like my mother-in-law from Japan. She's had a lot of wonderful cakes and cookies from French bakeries in Japan, but she's never made a cookie or a cake in her life because Japanese people don't, at that time, really bake. So it'd be like opening up a cookbook and trying to figure out, okay, how is this done without ever visually seeing it? So for me, these photos made all the difference in the world. So the last thing I thought I would share with these mittens here, these were the mittens that I knit for the very first pair of mittens I've ever knit. And it's called Mittens with the Red Thread, and I love that red thread. So the thing I wanted to point out about these mittens, she called for sport weight yarn and a size, so I don't have my glasses on, size 0 and size 1.5. So if you can imagine using sport weight yarn, size 0 would be for a very light fingering weight yarn normally. And there's two reasons why I think the mittens were done in this way, but it doesn't say so in the book. This is just my guess. You're going to get a tighter, thicker mitten when you're knitting with a needle that's about 2 needle sizes down from the recommended needle size for any given gauge of yarn. So your hands will be warmer, for one. And the second thing that I found is that when you do that, the individual stitches disappear and all you see is the motif. So I'm going to just go up close. If you look really up close, you can see the stitches, but from just about 12 inches away, the stitches disappear and you just see the design. And for me, I think it's more beautiful. So I'll give you the mittens that I made. I had to knit these 3 times before I finally was able to get a size that fit me, and I had to keep going up a needle size. So every time I went up a needle size, I started seeing the stitches more and more and more. So my first mitten, it came out like these, where the stitches disappeared and I could only see the design. That was my favorite. That was never going to fit my hand. So the next size up, I did this, and the stitches are showing more, but the design is still there. And then this was my third pair of mittens, and I started feeling like the individual stitches are starting to show more and more, and it kind of a bit takes away from the design when you look at it, and you really can see as you go up a needle size, the stitches are getting bigger and they're becoming more noticeable, and that really beautiful effect goes away. So for me, my challenge is to get the right yarn and needle combination so I can knit very tightly so that the stitches kind of disappear and you're just seeing the design. And that's going to be a challenge for me because I have really big hands, and I think the size large on most patterns would be size small for me. So anyways, I'll end this video with a little scene of where I'm at this morning. It is so beautiful having the beach all to yourself. A little visitor there. So hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you